Yeah, yeah. I think that that's really the key for us is that resilient tenacity to recover, to really recover from whatever life hands us,
Mm-hmm.
and to not wallow, to really, what am I going to build? What am I building so that I can help some other woman?
Good morning, Green Country. Welcome to Mornings with Missy. This is a unique episode. I'm gonna get squared up here. This is a unique episode today because I have the privilege and delight of interviewing remotely a dynamic woman who I've known for 17 years, maybe. I can't really say. It feels like a lifetime, and yet just a moment, quite frankly. Diane Cunningham Ellis, she is a business strategist, coach, courage coach, and trusted advisor for 25 years of experience, and she has coached a multitude of women across the country. She founded the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs in 2010 and sold it in 2017. She offers private coaching, business consulting, and masterminds for women who want to create profitable communities to scale their impact, influence, and income. She has a master's degree in counseling, has written 12 books, and is proud to have 12 years of recovery from alcoholism. She has turned tragedy into her testimony after she lost her counseling career due to a lawsuit and started over as a coach. So there is so much to unpack. She is married to her retired FBI agent turned private investigator husband, and she also survived a plane crash. So, I mean, there's so much to say about Diane Cunningham. For fun, she drinks way too much coffee, and we're going to do that together this morning. She takes walks, paints, and goes to TJ Maxx to find new treasures. Of course, you can learn all about Diane Cunningham on her website, but stay with me right here because we're going to talk to her in depth and hear from her. So, welcome, Diane. It's so good to have you here
Hey,
this morning.
I'm
I
so
don't even know where
excited to
to
have this.
begin.
I know, right? Where do we start, Missy?
uh, well, you tell me, because I'm going to let you drive this machine this morning. Uh, Tell me what your big focus is for this new year, because I know, you know, you're a goal setter. So, what does 2026 look like for you as we're coming out of 2025?
Mm. Yeah, there's always some new adventures to have, isn't there, Missy? So
Mm-hmm.
in 2026, we have some big personal things happening. My husband's going to sell or retire from his private investigation business. And so that is going to be interesting, fun, and who knows what's going to happen. And then that means we're also going to sell our house and move, downsize a little bit. For me, with my business, I always host events, retreats, mastermind groups. So I have not one, not two, not three, but four of those planned for
Of course you
2026.
do. Of course you do. Well, I want to just dive in. Where do we begin first? Because on our program, Mornings with Missy, we talk a lot to women, and we want to provide good content for women, regardless of where they're at in their life, whether it's just as a, not, I don't mean just, but as a homemaker and a provider, taking care of their children, or if they're starting a business, running a corporation. You've worked with women in all different aspects, and you personally have taken, some very tragic events in your life, and you have turned them, like your bio says, into triumph. And you've
Mhm.
really made a profession out of helping women do the same. Tell me about that. What are some of the things that you help? I mean, you say you're a courage coach. Let's talk
Mm,
about that.
yeah, let's talk about that. It's so interesting because I do business coaching, but it's woven in with a whole big batch of life coaching, Missy, as you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't take the therapist out of me. And I can't take this woman who's been through a lawsuit, a plane crash, and recovery, and all these different things. I can't remove that. That's just inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
So even just this morning, Missy, these are my business coaching clients, but we've talked about a woman who's gone through fraud with an ex-husband and that effect on her life and her business. I've talked to a woman whose daughter just found out she had a miscarriage
Mm.
and supported her through that. And then I've also talked to another client who is worried about the assets of her business and is going to get a legal post nup this morning. So what I end up doing as a courage coach and strategist is, yes, I'm going to help my clients build a business that gives them freedom and reflects their unique personality. But along the way, we're going to deal with some stuff that comes up. Life is going to life on us. And how do we maintain, how are we going to maintain our business when we're going through that grief, when we lose a loved one, when we're going through the divorce. And I'm just thinking about when you and I years ago were hanging out, long time ago, as you said,
Yeah,
17 years ago.
it's crazy.
Like there was three or four of us that were going through hard stuff at the time, really hard stuff, and we
Yeah,
supported each other.
it was. It was. It was what brought us together. Um, and there were things about you that were taking place when we first met that because of my own stuff, I didn't necessarily recognize the difficulties that you yourself were going through. And that was
Mm-hmm.
around the same time that you had um, started your NACWE, the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs. And that was just in its early birth. Um, but do you mind sharing with our listeners, our viewers, some more about your personal start? You know, you're in counsel. You were a counselor, and now you're a coach, and so much more. In my opinion, how what was that transition? What happened?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. Yeah, I was a therapist. I got my master's degree and loved it. Worked in a hospital in the state of Washington for 5 years. And then I was a baby entrepreneur. I was 28 years old and I opened a private practice. And a client of mine chose suicide.
Mm,
And it was that
devastating.
was devastating. And then I got sued a year later for by his spouse. And so
Mm,
it ended up being a 4 year, 3 or 4 year legal battle and really a fight for my life, for my career, for my income. And it was truly, I would say it was a defining moment, but it was a
mm-hmm.
defining episode, giant years.
Absolutely.
And it really rocked me to the core, Missy, as
Mm,
you can imagine. Not I mean, the suicide was the first part, and then this blaming me and this lawsuit against me
mm,
was a whole nother. It was so much guilt and shame and fear and questioning my calling. I was truly questioning my calling. And so I walked through all that. Little by little, I drank a lot. I drank a lot of booze at night, which we'll get to that part of the story later. But then I began to.
and you camouflage that well, because I didn't know how much booze you were drinking at night.
Yes, yes, I was a really good functional alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I started over as a coach. And like you said, I'm so much more than a coach. Like, what is that? What is a coach? Well, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a trusted advisor. I support women walking through hard stuff. And I had to recreate, how am I going to make a living? How am I going to what am I going to do now that my career has a big malpractice list on big
Yeah.
old red malpractice. So I that's what I did. I started over with one, we all start with one client, and that's exactly how I did it. And God opened new doors. I kept walking. One of the things that I really believe is my claim to fame is I'm willing to experiment. I'm willing to experiment in public. I'm willing to fail in public. And I'm willing to go first, Missy, meaning I'm willing to be a leader of women that are leaders. And that takes a lot of courage.
It certainly does, and I love the authenticity there, and the vulnerability there of you saying, "I'm willing to fail in public," because that's a hard thing to do, and then to be willing to put yourself out there to do it again. But I mean, we know working with business owners that the successful people, they have failed, and they keep getting up.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that's really the key for us is that resilient tenacity to recover, to really recover from whatever life hands us,
Mm-hmm.
and to not wallow, to really, what am I going to build? What am I building so that I can help some other woman?
Right, right, absolutely. Uh, and I just had a little bit of a distraction there. I was just checking my phone because the talk about things. We're business owners. There's always something going on. Uh,
Yeah.
so I know that we have not stayed in continual contact over these years, but I do follow you, especially through social media. Now, you lost your counseling practice, but in your own counseling, because you not only have coached women, but you yourself have a coach or have had coaches in your career. I mean, that's so important, to be part of your own mastermind group. Um,
Hmm.
and how were you encouraged to step back into that role and acknowledge those setbacks that you thought were setbacks, but actually were God using those in your life to move you forward?
Yeah, I always have a coach. I actually met with my coach and my mastermind group yesterday.
Mm,
Uh, I I invest a lot in my own learning, training, and growth. I read a lot of books. I attend 12-step programs. So I believe that I can't sell something that I'm not doing.
yeah.
And for those that might not know what a mastermind group is a high level group of men or women, normally small, like 12 people, 10
Mm-hmm.
people, that are really, it's like a little board of advisors for your business. And mine is paid. I've been leading masterminds for 10 years, 11 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really tight knit group of women that become a strategy center, but also that business support group. I get to use all my greatest gifts, my therapy, my strategy. And these are the women that come on retreats with me. And I go do those same things too for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I believe most of us need therapy, maybe everybody. I believe that we all need, I need people that are going to be a mirror for me, Missy. A
Mm-hmm.
mirror, and show me how where I can't see, but also reflect back to me my miracles, because on the day there's certain days that we can't see that.
Mm. Oh, that's so good. That's so true. We have to have that community, and you've always been a connector,
Mhm.
bringing women together, and you do it so beautifully. What are the things? Because I know that you work with a lot of women entrepreneurs. what are the fears that you see so many women? Is there one that's like resonating with women that you are helping them to overcome and to step into more so than
Yeah,
others?
yeah. So it's so interesting. I've created a whole business and I've made all my money from selling courage, which is it's kind of like, what are you selling? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go down to the courage store and get some courage. But, and some of my coaches are like, what are you teaching them? I'm like, a lot. But in the 12-step rooms, we have a whole section in the book that talks about the fact that there's 100 forms of fear. And when I read that, I was like, yes, there's 100 forms of fear. So fear can come as the distractions. It can come as overgiving. It can come as I'm not enough. I'm too much. I'm too
Mm-hmm.
thin. I'm too old. I'm too whatever. I live in the wrong town. I had the wrong parents. And some people, when we're afraid, they retreat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And others, like, we race forward.
Yeah.
So there's also a lot of fear of success that nobody's talking about. Can I
Mm.
maintain that? If I do
Yes.
that, can I do that again next month, or am I going to
Mm-hmm.
disappoint myself? And then
That's.
really the fear of leaving this is one I still grapple with, is I need to leave a whole bunch of people behind if I'm actually going to go where
Forward.
God is asking me to go
Mm-hmm.
next.
Oh, that's that's huge. I think that, wow, that's true.
It's
That
true.
is true.
It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes
So,
we
uh,
hold on so tightly to the things that are comfortable,
mm-hmm.
and it's in the
Yeah.
letting go.
It
Yeah.
really is in the letting go. So some of the key things I'm teaching my women are to basically three things: courage, action, and consistency, Missy. And so those are the backbones of and the foundation of what I want them to, like, not just do once, but
Mm-hmm.
we got to build that capacity.
Mm.
So and the that's where that consistency comes in. So I can be courageous one time, yay, yippee. I think you were there. I'm just
Yeah.
having a memory. I think it was you, me, and Vanda and Jen that we had that New Year's Eve thing, and we made a Be Brave list. Was that you? Was that us?
I maybe be braveless.
Be Yeah, we made a Be Brave list, and it
Oh,
and that
no, it wasn't me.
yeah,
I came in right after that. Be brave list.
yes,
Okay, no,
yes.
no, I did get to benefit from that, but I wasn't in that.
Okay, yeah, okay. I remember you came a little later, but just deciding, what does it mean for me, or for you, or for the women listening? What does it mean for you? What is your brave? What is
Mm-hmm.
your is and I can't decide that for you. And there's a lot of things that we aren't posting on social media that we have to walk through
Mm-hmm.
in order to be the next version of ourselves. And I believe wholeheartedly that by doing that, I'm going to attract the right women. I'm going to live what God's called me to do. I'm going to feel much more. I want to feel peace. I want to feel creative. I want to feel of service to the world. And I can do that when I'm not sitting here at home afraid of living life.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. That's so true. And it's, I know for me personally, we running a business and being in a somewhat foreign country. I mean, you come in here not knowing anyone, um, and you're grinding it out every day.
Yep.
Day after day. It's so easy to pigeonhole yourself, and I don't mean that. Um, how do I mean that? For me personally, I'm just talking for me personally. You get the blinders on and you get going, and you're not. For me, it's a need to feel and feed your spirit, and it's
Mm-hmm.
that connection. And so I'll say it one more time. That's one of the things that this show oddly has helped fulfill for me, is just that community and getting to know
Mm-hmm.
people, because my days are so crammed packed full of just business, so it's hard
Right.
to make yourself take time and do that. So um,
Yeah. Can
so
I talk about that?
yes, please, please.
I
Yes.
mean, I really, I mean, you said it before, but we we are all so connected and so isolated still. We're so connected and yet we're so isolated. And this is really what we need: more community and and connection and camaraderie and uh, it feeds my soul. It's actually built my
Mm,
entire life. And everything good that's come to me in my whole life has been when I've plugged into a group. It's not happened sitting, and yes, I mean, and I'm an extrovert, but I need a lot of alone time as well, because I need to fill my cup up. I need time to, I actually need, I need time to serve my clients. But a lot of
mm-hmm.
that, uh, when I'm in a group, sitting in a circle, or at anywhere networking, I learned so much from what you just shared, what he shared, what they are trying. And that's the reason, way back in, when I lived in Wichita Falls, I launched this national association, because I just knew more than just, I just knew I needed to find more women like me that wanted to
Mm-hmm.
grow together, and know that what works for you in Oklahoma, New Jersey, Florida
Right.
could possibly work for me. I'm not going to go run and steal your idea. But what's my version of your idea?
Yeah, right. What works for you? We're part of a mastermind group too. It's called
Mm.
something different, but it's the same concept. It's just so vital. And when we go to those group meetings, and we have them, on basically 3 times or 4 times a year, um, if you walk away with just one nugget,
Exactly.
it makes it all worth. It makes the expense, the time away from work. It makes it all worthwhile. You bring back that one idea, and it could be so minute seemingly, but
Hmm.
it's that tweak that's needed to really turn your business in a different direction. Take it to the next step. Um, so I know that there are a lot of entrepreneurs watching this. If they wanted to connect with you, they just need to go to your website, check that out. I know you've got mastermind groups starting in 2026, so I want to make that plug for you right there. um, I have to ask, what is your word? I'll probably already know it. It's probably courage for 2026, but maybe it's not. You're shaking your head, nodding your head, nod and smile.
Uh,
Hey,
yeah.
before we get there, my nod and smile. What's your cup? What does your cup say?
My one that I showed you secretly.
Yes. Well, I'm going to be
Yeah,
honest.
there we
I love
go.
Jesus. Some days I cuss a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Not
Um,
always proud of it, though. So, what's your word? What's your word for the year?
well, I'm so glad you asked, because it's trust. It's trust. And I don't think I've ever had that as a word for the year. This had a lot of words over all these years, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, courage is like, of course. I mean, I've always
That's
that's
that's your
always just,
mantra. That's
yeah.
you're selling it.
So, but
So,
yeah, but the trust word has been coming to me recently. Just really thinking, okay, enough. It's time to trust yourself. It's time to trust yourself. It's time to trust God. I mean, not like I haven't been, but
Sure.
uh there's always that next level of, am I giving away my power? Am I outsourcing my inner knowing? And I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. I need to trust myself so completely that I teach my women to do the same. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always like, what do I need to learn so I can pass it down to the women that God brings to me?
Right. Right.
What's your word?
Um, well, I believe it's consistency,
Mm,
and it's so God just puts these things on your heart, and then He reaffirms them through His Word, through His people. You know how He works. Uh, so I had already been turning that word over, and then there was a sermon that I listened to, and it was bam, consistency. I interviewed a beautiful business owner here on a show just a short time back, and I asked her, what do you if you could pass something along, consistency,
mm.
consistency. I come in and ask you, I'm like, you're like, courage, action, consistency.
I
So
think God's
I
telling
feel
you.
like that's yes. And then this morning in the shower, as I'm thinking about our conversation today, and going back through some of the words that I have had over the years, I remember the year prior to us coming here to Henrietta, and my word was obey. And I remember God
Mm,
saying, because it wasn't something I took lightly. It's like, what's my word this year going to be, for the new year? And it was strange because this is just a funny story. I think it won't be to anyone else, but God was like, your word is a 4-letter word. I, it's just what came in my head, and I was like, you remember our friend Debbie? She would always say, "My name is a 4-letter word. It's DEBI," and I was like,
yeah.
well, I can think of other 4-letter words. And I was like, a 4-letter word? And so I just started praying
Mm,
over that. And one morning I woke up and I was like, obey? Really? Obey? You want that to be my word? You know, how about brave, or, love, or,
right.
but it was because that's what I had needed in my life, was
Yes.
I needed to, and then I started just really diving in and doing a word study on obedience, and then
Mm,
long obedience, and then I thought, how odd, in a way, he's bringing me back to that, because long obedience is really consistency
mm,
in the right direction. So,
yeah.
so
That's
that's
so
where I am.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
consistency is so, we all think we're, I don't know. I mean, we get into so much perfectionism on that.
Mhm.
Excuse me. We get into so much like, oh, all or nothing, or, drama, but consistency isn't really about that. It it's just about, and this, if it's okay, I would love to talk about my recovery.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes. Please do.
yeah, so I got sober after, we kind of alluded to this, but I was doing a lot of drinking every night, running this Christian association, but scared to death, as we talked
Mhm.
about, totally afraid, had gone through a divorce, really just thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it with
Mhm.
with with just paying for life, and so my drinking ramped up, and then I moved to Grapevine, Texas. Why? Because it was like a drinking town. Yippee, right?
Ah.
But pretty quickly hit rock bottom, and I later wrote some books called Rock Bottom is a Beautiful Place, because
Mhm.
I do believe that and know that now. Uh, but when you first get sober, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through tomorrow, or Friday, or Sunday, or Monday, or whatever day is going to come next, because
Mm-hmm.
there was so much of my life that was just surrounded with, that was how I was coping at the time. So they just say, come again tomorrow. Like, okay, I can come again tomorrow to the AA group.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, one day leads to 30, and then 30 leads to 60. And so now 12 years later, looking back, all those little baby consistency steps and I learned so much from recovery about how to make my business better too. Make my business
Mm-hmm.
better. Just with, okay, what can you do today? Don't get all worked up and, overthinking land, and don't really worry, what did you do wrong yesterday? Well, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? What are you doing today to be that consistent, courageous, action taking, badass woman that you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and do that. Just live that. So I love that God's giving you the word of consistency.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And, speaking in all of those things there, I just, grace just resonates because your God's grace has just been so beautifully shown throughout your life, um, with just the ability to be able to start over. I mean, my goodness, you started a Christian women's entrepreneur group and you're boozing it up every night.
Yes.
What grace, God used you and used your story. It's beautiful. It's really
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you, Missy.
It is. Oh, I'm going to get all teared up.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I just
yeah.
love you so much.
Oh, I love you too, friend. I love you too.
So, as we roll this up to a conclusion, and we could continue on, I know, but we both have busy days scheduled. What are some last moment pieces that you would want to share with women out there, entrepreneurs? Any advice getting started, continuing on their journey?
Yeah, I would just say follow your desires. I mean, these sound really simple, but I really feel like these are kind of the backbone too of what I've done. Follow your desires, use maximum courage, and go fast. Um, because a lot of good things have happened to me from knowing that my desires are divine. God's get the desires of each of us are very unique and very different. But I also like that third part for me is going fast instead of, I don't want to wait and ponder and pray. I mean, I love praying and I love journaling, but yesterday on one of my calls, I was like, okay, enough praying and journaling for you, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that I
Get
need
up and
to
get
see
going.
get going,
Yes.
girl. Because this one girl just too much praying and journaling. I'm like, what are you gonna do today? What are you doing? So anyway, you gotta laugh, but
You do,
as
because
we
it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with the next 23 hours and 30 minutes?
exactly, I said I want to see what am I gonna see as evidence. I want to see evidence. I want to see like a wake. If you've been in the pool, like, well, okay, I want to see some evidence. Did you reach out to somebody? Did you make some calls? Did you do that Facebook Live? Did you send that email? Because we got to go. We got to find out, like, by doing stuff. So that's what I would leave the women with today. Go try something, be wild, and be brave today. Really, be brave today.
I love that. Be wild, be brave, be courageous. Diane, thank you so much for taking time to stop in the studio today and visit with us. We may have to have you on again. So
yeah, let's do it. Maybe I can come do it in person.
Oh, that would thrill my heart. By the way, I wore my little heart bracelet today
Oh,
in honor
thank
of you.
Thank you
So-
so much.
All right. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Thank you, Diane, for stopping in the studio. I guess that's it. That's all I have
I
for
guess
this
that's
morning.
it.
It's time to. It's time
you.
for us to get up and get to work. Thank you.
Get up
Thank
and
you,
get
Green
to work.
Country. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Mornings with Missy. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow wherever you're watching this program. And remember, you can join us live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.